Absolute Bane, the walking nightmare who makes regular Bane look like a gym bro on Venom. Here, he's Joker's personal executioner, brought into Gotham with one mission: break Batman. Bane was a brilliant world-class fighter and tactical genius who augments his great physical strength with a steroid called Venom. Raised from childhood in the Peña Duro prison on Santa Prisca, he was determined that he would destroy Batman to prove himself, and succeeded by breaking the hero's back during nightfall. Their first encounter is brutal. Bane doesn't just fight Bruce, he toys with him. He lets Batman swing just to prove he's untouchable. Then, with chilling precision, he paralyzes Bruce's limbs and leaves him helpless. At first, Batman thinks Bane's strength comes from Venom, but no, this monster hasn't even touched it yet. When he finally injects the Venom, his body mutates into something inhuman. Veins bulge, his form distorts. The Venom doesn't just make him strong, it makes him monstrous. From that moment on, Bane isn't just an enemy, he's Batman's tormentor. He twists Bruce's friends into villains, forces him through endless surgeries, and dismantles him piece by piece. In the Absolute Universe, Bane doesn't just break the Bat, he owns him. Absolute Joker. He's one of the richest men in the Absolute Universe, with a fortune built on war, manipulation, and blood. His real name is unknown, and he goes by a variety of aliases. His nickname Joker is derived from the fact that he has never been heard to laugh at anything. He trained with dangerous figures such as Henry Ducard and the League of Assassins. Years ago, he found Bane and the surviving members of a rebel group known as Cielos Libres after they escaped from Peña Duro, where they had been imprisoned for the last 11 years. Joker offered Bane a deal: loyalty in exchange for power. To prove himself, Bane killed his own father, and from that moment on, Joker owned him. He funds nations, orchestrates assassinations, and bends Gotham to his will through Bane. This isn't the jester you know. This is Absolute Joker, the man behind every nightmare. Absolute Killer Croc. Killer Croc isn't just a thug with scales, he's a tragedy turned into a living horror. Born Waylon Jones, his condition twisted him into something far beyond human. By the time Joker's experiments were done with him, Croc was no longer a man at all, he was a weapon. Locked away in the bowels of Ark, Croc was subjected to endless genetic tampering. His body grew into a hulking reptilian nightmare, with claws that could tear steel and jaws strong enough to snap bone in a single bite. But what made Croc terrifying wasn't just his size, it was his unpredictability. He oscillates between childlike vulnerability and feral rage, like a beast that remembers it was once a man. During Bruce's escape from Arkham, he's thrown into Croc's enclosure by Bane. Scientists watch, assuming Croc will rip him apart. Instead, something strange happens. He doesn't kill Bruce, he carries him. Together they escape into Gotham's sewers, a moment of uneasy alliance between predator and prey. But this mercy is fleeting. Croc's suffering has twisted him. Once safe, he begs Bruce to kill him and end the torment of his existence. When Bruce refuses, Croc's despair boils over into rage. They clash, not as hero and villain, but as two broken beings fighting over mercy itself. Croc vanishes back into the waters, leaving Batman with guilt, and Gotham with a monster lurking beneath its streets. Absolute Riddler. Edward Nygma was always the clever one in Bruce Wayne's childhood circle of friends. A stuttering genius with a fascination for puzzles, codes, and logic, he was the kind of mind that could turn chaos into patterns. Sometimes he even helped Bruce with early gadgets, building tiny mechanisms that foreshadowed Batman's arsenal. But brilliance is fragile in the Absolute Universe, and Bane made sure to shatter it. Bane gouged out his eyes, crushed his skull, and left him for dead. But Edward didn't die. He rebuilt himself, piece by piece. When he emerged, he was no longer the man Bruce remembered. Edward reinforced his fractured skull with cybernetic implants and android parts, his once brilliant brain now scrambled and glitching like broken code. His riddles became fragmented, nonsensical, questions without answers, mazes with no exit. He didn't just test Batman's mind anymore, he assaulted it, flooding Gotham with puzzles designed to break sanity itself. The Absolute Riddler is terrifying because he doesn't trust reality. To him, the world is one giant, corrupted program, and everyone is just a piece of faulty data. He's unpredictable, unstable, 1 second mocking Batman with a riddle, the next screaming in fury when the answer doesn't make sense even to him. For Bruce, facing Riddler isn't a battle of wits. It's watching a friend's brilliance turned into madness, a mirror of what happens when obsession and genius are twisted by cruelty. Absolute Scarecrow, the fear that never ends. Dr. Jonathan Crane always believed fear was the purest truth of humanity. In Gotham's absolute universe, that belief became a weapon so powerful it stripped away reality itself. His toxins don't just make people hallucinate, they shatter the boundary between what is real and what is imagined. Victims don't simply see monsters in the dark, they feel their claws, their teeth, the cold breath on their necks. And when the toxin fades, the injuries remain. Torn muscles from fighting shadows, burns from fires that never existed, wounds born from the mind, carved into the flesh. For Batman, Scarecrow is more than another villain. He is a tormentor who forces him to relive his deepest guilt, over and over again. Every failed life in Gotham, every friend broken or turned into a monster, every loss, Scarecrow drags it all back up until Bruce can barely tell whether he's fighting enemies in the city or in his own head. Absolute Mr. Freeze. Victor Freeze was once the son of two brilliant glaciologists, obsessed with unlocking the secrets buried in ancient ice. But in the Absolute Universe, discovery became damnation. As a child, Victor was cryogenically frozen to treat a mysterious illness. The cure worked, but it came with a curse. A prehistoric bacterium bound itself to his body, mutating him forever. Years later, Victor inherited control of VOR, Gotham's most powerful cryogenics corporation. Wealthy elites came to him, desperate to cheat death, to be frozen until medicine could save them. But the truth was horrifying. Instead of salvation, Victor infected them with his bacterium, transforming them into frozen, zombie-like thralls bound to his will. When Batman first investigates VOR, Victor reveals the truth. His infection makes him something more than human, something eternal. When he mutates into Mr. Freeze, the transformation is grotesque, flesh turning to ice, veins glowing blue, his voice a hollow echo from beneath frostbitten skin. Their first battle is chaos inside VOR's frozen chambers. Batman, armed with a flamethrower, is no match for the blizzard Victor unleashes. Corpses encased in ice stagger forward, frozen servants clawing at Bruce, while Freeze himself traps him in a cryopod, watching the temperature drop with detached cruelty. Only through sheer will does Batman escape, but the battle leaves him broken and half dead from hypothermia. Absolute Catwoman. Selina Kyle has always walked the line between hero and villain, thief and savior. In the Absolute Universe, that line is erased. What's left is a predator in the night, a woman reshaped by tragedy into Gotham's most dangerous shadow. Selina grew up scraping through Gotham's gutters, stealing not for greed but survival. She crossed paths with Bruce Wayne more than once, long before he became Batman, and for a brief moment, there was trust. She saw in him the same hunger for justice, the same hatred for Gotham's corruption. But Joker and Bane twisted that bond until nothing remained. Captured during one of Gotham's sweeps, Selina was experimented on inside the Arks. Her body was altered, her agility and reflexes sharpened beyond human limits. But the real cruelty was psychological, forced to hunt and kill fellow inmates to survive. When she finally emerged, she wasn't just a thief anymore. She was a weapon forged by horror. The Absolute Catwoman is a phantom. She stalks rooftops with inhuman speed, claws ripping through steel, her movements silent as death. Sometimes she aids Batman, saving him from certain death. Other times, she fights him with equal fury, driven by rage over the life she lost. Her loyalty is a coin toss, determined not by morality, but by survival. Her relationship with Batman is complicated. Love twisted into rivalry, attraction poisoned by betrayal. She knows Bruce better than anyone, and in his darkest moments, she is the reminder of what he couldn't save.